Hey guys, Teacher Alan here. Even though I am a teacher, I consider myself above all a dedicated gamer. In this video, I want to go over this awesome League of Legends video with you, step by step, and explain all the grammar, vocabulary, and talking points that you might not know. I am always trying to find new, interesting ways to teach my students, and I hope this video helps you on your journey to learn and study English. To the fields of justice.
Wow. Stop! You're gonna get us in trouble.
Look, I'm Garen Crownguard, Might of Demacia. It's over for this monster.
So in this video, a girl and a boy are in a training ground where they are playing. In the training ground, there are soldiers outside training with their weapons. When the girl and the boy go inside, they find a sword, and the boy wants to play. But the girl says, "Stop! You're going to get us in trouble." And the boy says to the girl, "Look." So in this sentence, there are two things you should probably look at. The first words in each sentence, stop and look. These are examples of imperatives. Imperatives. When you have an imperative in English, this is like a command or an order. Someone is telling you to do something. So, stop and look are examples of imperatives. To make an imperative, you need the base form of the verb, which is basically simple present. So in this word here, stop. So for example, in the past tense of stop is stopped, and the future is will stop. But when you use imperatives, you only want the base form or the present tense of the verb. So the girl says, "Stop. You're going to get us in trouble." So in this video, they use contractions a lot. And what is a contraction? A contraction in English is basically two words put together, but you make them shorter. So in this sentence, the word your is a contraction. You can look at the contraction with this symbol, the apostrophe, in this word. So when you see the word your in English with an apostrophe, this is short for you are. Contractions are very quick and very fast to say. So when you are trying to use casual language, you probably want to use contractions like this girl is doing. You're going to get us in trouble. Going to is a example of possibility or in the future. So this girl thinks this boy is going to get us in trouble. Maybe, maybe not. But when you see going to, it is a possibility. You think something is going to happen. But this girl is pretty sure they're going to get us in trouble. So, but the boy doesn't really care. He just says, "Look." And he's looking at the things in the arena or the training ground. And then he says, "I'm Garen Crownguard, Might of Demacia. It's over for this monster." So we just saw an example of apostrophe and contractions. And here are some more. I'm and it's. So when you take a look at this, contractions are very common in English, and it is very important to learn all of them because they are so common. People use them all the time, just like this little boy. I'm Garen Crownguard. So I'm is short or a contraction for I am. I am Garen Crownguard, saying who he is. So just to tell you, Garen Crownguard is another person. This boy is not Garen Crownguard, but Garen is his hero, and he wants to be just like him. So he says, I'm Garen Crownguard, Might of Demacia. Demacia is the name of the place or the country that we are in. So in this video, they are in Demacia, which is a country which is very strong and has a very strong military and soldiers. And Garen is one of the soldiers. One of his nicknames, or what people call him, is the Might of Demacia. Might means strong or strength. So this is a very strong soldier. Afterwards, he says, it's over. So once again, it's with an apostrophe is short for it is. It is over for this monster. So look at this word, it's. This is a very common mistake in English that a lot of people make. It's versus it's without the apostrophe. So if you have an apostrophe, it is, right? It is. But if you don't have the apostrophe, it is spelled I-T-S. That means it is a way of showing possession. It's. Okay? So, let's move on.
You're spinning the wrong way.
Listen, beast. You don't stand a chance against Fiora Laurent.
How does she do those moves?
So close to glory.
So in the next part of the video, the girl says to the boy, you're spinning the wrong way. Once again, we see an example of a contraction, short form. So your is the contraction of you are. And you see the apostrophe symbol right here to tell you that it is a contraction. Spinning. Spinning is an example of a gerund. G-E-R-U-N-D. Gerund. This is a verb with the letters I-N-G. Spinning. There are many rules you need to know about gerunds, but in this video, I'm not really going to go over all of them. I'm just going to tell you the basics of what this word is. So this is a gerund after the word your. You're spinning the wrong way. Spinning means you turn your body very fast. And in the video, the boy is spinning because in the video game, his hero, Garen, has a spinning attack to attack the enemy. So you're spinning the wrong way. Next, we have another example of a imperative. And remember, imperative is base form, simple present of the verb. Listen, present tense. Listened with ed, past tense. Will listen, future. Listen, beast. So she's talking to the beast. She's giving it a command. Listen to me. Listen. You don't stand a chance against Fiora Laurent. Once again, another example of contractions. They are very, very common in English. So it is important to know all of them. You don't. Don't is short form of do not. Okay? Do not. You do not stand a chance against Fiora Laurent. So stand a chance. I want to talk about this a little bit. This is an expression or something English speakers say. stand a chance means you cannot win. You don't stand a chance. You cannot win. You cannot beat me. You can't beat Fiora Laurent. You don't stand a chance against Fiora Laurent. So she's saying that Fiora is a very strong person and you cannot beat her. And when you say stand a chance, you need the word against. It follows this phrase to make it complete. You don't stand a chance against Fiora Laurent. Because against is showing you two sides, one person, the other person, and they fight or do whatever. You don't stand a chance against Fiora Laurent. Then the boy turns into Garen. Boy and Garen together. They say Demacia, the name of the country. Finally, after the girl and the boy are done playing, the girl says, how does she do those moves? So this is a question word in English. And the question words in English are who, what, where, when, why, and how. These are the most common question words in English. There are more, but how is an example of a very common question. How? How is talking about the method. How do I do something? How do I make this? How do I cook this? How does she do those moves? So the subject of this sentence would be she. And to match, you need to write the word does. How does she do those moves? So if you wanted to have, instead of she, you wanted a plural, they, you would need to change does to do, because you always want to match your subject with the correct word. She, singular, needs does. They, plural, needs do. Okay? And then next, the boy, he's very tired. He says, so close to glory. Glory means it's like a feeling, how you feel after you beat something or you win. So close to glory. He's saying, I got close, but it wasn't good enough. I didn't get glory today. So let's move on to the next part.
Decent footwork. Need to watch your guard, though. You think they're ready to join the vanguard?
Well, they certainly know the flashy stuff. But seeking glory only goes so far.
After this, Garen and Fiora are in the video. So Garen picks up the sword and tells the little boy, decent footwork. Let's take a look at these two words. Decent. Decent means not good, not bad. It's just okay, decent. And then footwork. Footwork is an example of a compound word made up of the words foot and work. You usually see this word in sports or athletics because footwork is how you move your feet and your legs to play the game. So if you have good footwork, you can win. So this is a comment or a compliment that Garen tells the little boy. Decent footwork. Not good, not bad. Next, he says, need to watch your guard though. So this is interesting because Garen skips the subject of this sentence. The subject of this sentence is you. So when an English speaker skips the subject, they know that the other person understands that they are talking to them. That is why you can skip the subject because they already know. So the full sentence is you need to watch your guard though. You. So the word need, this is different than want. Need is important, like food or water. After the word need, you usually see something called an infinitive. To watch is an example of an infinitive. An infinitive is the word to, T-O with a verb. To watch. To watch. Need to watch. So when you see the word need, you usually see an infinitive after it. After that, the word guard. Guard means defense. So you need to watch your defense. Protect yourself. After this, he says, he's talking to Fiora now. You think they're ready to join the vanguard? So Garen once again skips an important word in the question. He is supposed to say do. Do you think they're ready to join the vanguard? But Garen is being very fast, and he knows that Fiora understands that he is talking to her. So he can skip the word do and says, you think they're ready to join the vanguard? Another example of contraction, there means they are. Vanguard is like a military unit, soldiers, and they're fighting on the front line. They're first in battle. Next, Fiora says, well, they certainly know the flashy stuff, but seeking glory only goes so far. Certainly is an example of an adverb that gives you more information about the verb know. And flashy. Flashy means cool, awesome. So they know the cool stuff. But is a transition into the next sentence, but. So when you see the word but before it is one sentence, and then after this word, the next sentence will say something different than the first sentence. But seeking glory only goes so far. Seeking is an example of a gerund again with ing, and seek means to look. But looking, but finding glory only goes so far. And you see the word glory again. Glory means feeling good about winning or a victory. So we're going to continue with the next part of the video.
Will glory be there for every failure? Will glory lift you through all your trials? A true Demacian seeks excellence. So when you face death's terrible jaws, you will not falter!
So this part is very exciting because Fiora is fighting the dragon, and she says many questions that are interesting to look at. So she first says, will glory be there for every failure? And then will glory lift you through all your trials? So will is another example of a question word in English talking about the future. And she is asking the little boy and the little girl, in the future, will glory be there for every failure? Glory, we see the word again. This word appears many times in this video. Victory, you win something. Be there for every failure. So earlier in the video, we saw another word that sounds exactly like this word. There, T-H-E-Y apostrophe R-E. They are, contraction. Here, it is spelled T-H-E-R-E. There. This there is for location. And it is a little hard to think about in this sentence, but I think there means a battlefield, or in the little boy's mind, location. The last example of there is T-H-E-I-R, which is an example of possession, possessive. So try to be careful when you spell these three words. T-H-E-Y apostrophe R-E, T-H-E-R-E, and T-H-E-I-R. This is a very common mistake in English. So try to be careful. And then failure. you lost, you lose. And she asks another question with will. In the future, glory is the subject. Lift. Lift means pick up, raise. Will glory lift you through all your trials? So trials, this is a very interesting word. Sometimes you see it in a criminal case or a court, like a criminal trial. But in this sentence, I think trials means difficult situations, okay? So trials, two definitions, difficult situation and criminal trial in a court. Finally, she says, a true Damasian seeks excellence. So when you face death's terrible jaws, you will not falter. So the word Damasian is a person from the country Damasia, which is what we saw earlier. So naming people after their country is very different and very difficult. So the only way you can learn them is by memorizing. So try to find all the different ways to say the person, where they're from. But in this case, they are called a Damasian. Seeks. We saw this word before. Seeking, but here we have seeks. Notice that seeks is singular because it needs to match the word Damasian, which is a single person. So this is a singular subject. So Damasian seeks with the S. And I always say, if you are singular, you need a S. You need a friend. And your friend is the letter S to make the subject happy. Excellence. Excellence means doing very good. So when you face death's terrible jaws, you will not falter. So face means to challenge. Death, terrible jaws. So this is very interesting because in English, something that people say sometimes is to snatch victory from the jaws of defeat. So Fiora is making a very similar sentence about that common expression in English. Terrible means very bad, and jaws is like the movie, the shark. It is your mouth. So when you face death's terrible jaws, so when you look at death and you see the terrible teeth and the mouth that they have, you will not falter. Falter is a very interesting word because it is, I think, very old and not very common in English. You usually see this word in video games or war or books, but not really speech. People don't really say falter anymore. Falter means to be scared or afraid. So Fiora is saying, a Damasian, a person from this country, always looks for good things, excellence. So when they face death's terrible jaws, the very scary mouth of death, they will not be scared. They will not falter. They will not be afraid. Finally, let's look at the last part of the video.
Fiora.
You want me to sugarcoat it?
You keep at it.
Finally, we are in the last part of the video. And it is Garen and Fiora talking to each other. So first, Fiora told the children a very scary and very advanced story about fighting, and the children don't really understand what Fiora is talking about. So Garen says, Fiora. So these three dots right here, they are called ellipses, and they basically mean the next part of the sentence or the word is cut off. So this is an incomplete sentence. But Garen is just talking about Fiora. So when you look at the video, you want to try to understand that Garen is a little shocked or surprised that Fiora would say this story to these children because they are very young and they don't really understand what she is saying. So something important in English is understanding how people say words, their emotion. And if you can understand the emotion behind the voice and the sentence, you will understand the meaning of the sentence and the situation better. Next, Fiora responds to Garen. You want me to sugarcoat it? Once again, Fiora skips the word do, just like Garen did earlier in the video. Do you want me to sugarcoat it? So sugarcoat, very interesting word. Sugarcoat, two words. Sugar, sweet, and coat, like something you wear. So together, sugarcoat means to make something sound better than it actually is. Almost like a lie, but it's a little nicer than that because it's sweet, like sugar. You want me to sugarcoat it? So for example, if something really bad happened to you and you don't want to make your friends or your family worried, you could sugarcoat it. So you could make it sound not so bad to make them not worried. You want me to sugarcoat it? It is a example of a object in this sentence, but it is talking about sugarcoat. So sugarcoat takes the object, which is it, which is a thing. So it in this sentence, I think, is the story that Fiora just told about glory. So she's trying to say, you want me to make this sound better? It's not, you want me to lie about it? It's a little nicer than that, but that's basically what sugarcoat means. Finally, Garen says to the little boy, you keep at it. So keep means do something again, over and over again. So Garen is telling the little boy to practice using the sword so he can get better in the future. That's why this word, it, once again, you don't know what it is, but you need to understand the sentence to find out what it means. So I think it means practicing your sword skills and your ability to fight. So that is what Garen is telling the little boy. You keep at it. You keep practicing your sword skills. So that's the end of the video. I really hope you enjoyed it. I really hope you learned something. This was a long video to make, but I think it was worth it. I'm always trying to make English learning fun and exciting for my students. So let me know if you've gotten this far. Let me know what you think about the video and if there are any other subjects or video games you want me to talk about. I'm really looking forward to your comments, and please, if you have any questions, let me know in the comments, or you can just leave it in my YouTube channel. Thank you very much. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye, guys.